What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you guys are enjoying your Monday, and I'm sure you're having a much better Monday than our friend Aubrey, our Canadian rapper Drake, okay? Because I don't know if he knows anything about rap battles, but I have never in my entire life heard of somebody calling their lawyer to sue to sue music companies um, over a rap battle. But let's get into this story because wow, this Aubrey, somebody go check on Aubrey. So it says Drake accuses Universal Music Group and Spotify for artificially inflating Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. So he didn't like the fact that it blew up so quickly. I'm going to give my perspective really quickly, then I'm getting into this article. But I don't know where Aubrey Graham was the summer of 2024. Yes, I do. He was going back and forth with Kendrick Lamar. So this wasn't the first song in the battle, right? They were going back and forth. Drake dropped a song and then Kendrick responded. And when he dropped this one, though, it hit different, right? It was the beat was catchier. There was more of a call and response. That A minor line that A minor, like it just hit different. Okay. Hours after it dropped, they was playing it at the NBA games. You know what I mean? All these multi-million dollar corporations picked up on it. It became a huge pop culture sensation, so much so that Amazon had a whole concert on Juneteenth of all days, okay? In Cali, he invited, you know what I mean, the neighborhood, the Crips, and the Bloods on stage, right? No banging was happening. Everybody was getting along. Everything was copacetic except for our friend Aubrey over here that was in his feelings. But listen, in a battle, rap or not, somebody has to take the L. Now, what most people do is they move forward, right? He's not the first rapper that's been in a battle. Battle rap has been going on since hip hop and rap was created in the Bronx in New York in the 80s. You know what I mean? Way, way back. They had dance battles, they had rap battles, they had like that's what the art form calls for. And what most people do, was what most adults do, period, is you move forward. You know what I mean? Like Pop said in Friday, you win some and you lose some, but you live. You live to fight another day. And that's what people do. You better ask Jay-Z and Nas. Okay, when Ether dropped, Nas, you know, he had everybody in the chokehold. I still remember Ether. I still remember No Vaseline from Ice Cube. Like, people, that's what the art form calls for. Well, except for our Canadian friend. And maybe it's because he's Canadian. Maybe it's because, he was on Degrassi. Maybe it's because he's real close with his mama. Whatever the case may be, our friend Aubrey said he is going to call his attorney because he can't believe the numbers. In a legal petition, the Stars company accuses UMG, Universal Music Group, and Spotify of serious wrongdoing. A stunning twist months after his high profile feud with Kendrick. And that's the gag, too, right? This isn't right after the song dropped at the height of the popularity. He waited until Thanksgiving. Boy, if you don't get somewhere and sat down. So Drake has initiated legal action. And he didn't do it against K Dot. He is suing Spotify, like the streaming service. That would have been like Nas and Jay-Z back then trying to sue Hot 97 in the radio stations. Like, all they do is distribute the music. It's the culture that made it popular. Listen, and that's exactly what Kendrick was saying. He said, you go to Atlanta when you need a check balance. Like, you are someone who is, he essentially called him a colonizer, right? And not like us. He said, you're not a colleague, you a effing colonizer. That was the line in the song. And I don't know if he's trying to live up to those Karen roots, but I've never heard somebody call a manager, call their lawyer on the music companies. Drake. They are clowning him all over social media. I'm sorry, y'all. Listen, this was the gift that kept giving. I laughed until my stomach hurt when I first read this. Okay, I'm like, let me bring it to my people. So he's suing them over allegations that the two companies conspired to artificially inflate the popularity of Kendrick Lamar's "Not Like Us." In a filing today, Monday, November 25th, in a Manhattan court, Drake's Frozen Moments LLC accused UMG of launching an illegal scheme. He said it's a scheme that Todd set up for the BS. He said a scheme including bots, payola, and other methods to pump up Lamar's song, a track that savagely attacked Drake amid an ongoing feud between the two stars. Listen, I don't know how they got the bots involved, but I do know that most people, again, love the song because it blew up all over social media. One thing that Kendrick Lamar did that helped his side, right, is he allowed YouTubers and other streaming content creators to use the song without being demonetized. So they could, play this song and critique it and share it with friends. And they earned a nice coin over it as well. Shout out to K Dot. Drake, you could have just held this L, dropped another, made some more music, not trying to attack Kendrick because you don't want that smoke. Talk to Lil Wayne because he don't want it either. But instead of trying to sue the content creators, because if you thought that Kendrick killed your career, sir, this might be the final nail in the coffin because you lost a lot of respect in people's eyes over this. UMG did not rely on chance or even ordinary business practices attorneys for Drake's company right. It instead launched a campaign to manipulate and saturate the streaming services and the airwaves. Drake's attorneys accused UMG of violating the Racketeer Influence, not a RICO, and Corporations Organizations Act. He's accusing them of a RICO charge for playing. Okay. The federal RICO statute often used in criminal cases against organized crime. They also allege deceptive business practices and false advertising under New York state law. This is a lot for just a single. I mean, this isn't even the whole album. This is just one song. The court filings are a remarkable twist in the high-profile beef between the two stars, which saw Drake and Kendrick exchange stinging diss tracks over the period of months earlier this year. That's what I'm saying. This wasn't the first song. Wow. Drake said he got his attorneys on speed dial, child. That such a dispute would spill into the business litigation seems almost unthinkable in the world of hip-hop. It also represents a stunning rift between Drake and UMG, where the star has spent his entire career. And see, I didn't even know that the Universal Music Group was his home. He is really sinking his career like extremely fast because, like I said, battle rappers, Nas, Jay-Z, Ice Cube, etc., LL Cool J, they've all moved past, diss tracks and battle rap and stuff, and they've had longevity past these things. Like, I feel like, you going back and forth with a diss song or a diss track, in my opinion, it's just like having an argument, back and forth. If you disagree with a coworker, that doesn't mean you sink your whole career or you sue the company. Wow. Okay. So Lamar, meanwhile, has also spent his entire career associated with UMG. Okay. First distributed by Interscope and more recently through his own company, PG Lang. Good. Which he licenses through Interscope Records. In technical terms, Monday's filing is not a full lawsuit today yet. Okay. But a so-called pre-action petition, a procedure under New York law that aims to secure information before filing a lawsuit. Spotify declined to comment on the allegations when reached by Billboard, and UMG did not immediately return a request for comment. Drake's attorneys claim that the UMG carried out its scheme. I'm sorry, every time I hear a scheme, I think of Real Housewives. It was the scheme. Drake says the scheme that Todd set up, the UMG set up for the BS in a variety of ways, including charging Spotify vastly reduced licensing rates in exchange for the streamer, recommending the song to users who search for unrelated songs and artists. They also claim UMG paid influencers to boost the song on social media. It also hired armies of bots to fraudulently spike the numbers. So he's been sitting on this for a while. He was mad. He did some research. He found the bots, okay? He was big mad. UMG conspired with and paid currently unknown parties to use bots to artificially infiltrate and inflate the spread of Not Like Us and deceive consumers into believing the song was more popular than it was in reality. Drake's lawyers write. No, it wasn't the bots though, in my opinion, right? Like I said, it was the NBA, it was YouTube, it was social media, it was everywhere. And it wasn't just individuals, it was the companies. And I'm not even talking about just Spotify and UMG. I'm talking about companies that had no association with music whatsoever. Like a lot of the sports teams and a lot of, people worldwide, they was playing it at weddings. They were playing it at bar mitzvahs. It was everywhere. I mean, he can blame it on bots, I guess, if he wants to, but a RICO charge is a lot. I have never seen somebody tank their own career like this. Why would UMG choose to aggressively boost Kendrick Lamar's song? Drake lawyers say it's partially because of an internal corporate dynamics at UMG and Interscope, where financial incentives for executives are largely based on specific UMG division rather than the performance of UMG more generally. See, he could have settled this in the booth. I'm sorry. Instead of taking this mess to court and trying to sue them because he's not as popular in a rap battle. Okay. UMG schemes were motivated, at least in part, by the desire of the executives at Interscope to maximize their own profits. Drake's attorneys write, Who who doesn't? Is that a crime? The music executives try to maximize their own profits? I don't know one that doesn't. Executives at Interscope have been incentivized to maximize the financial success of Interscope through the promotion of Not Like Us and its impact on the artist's prior recording catalog. That's called marketing, Drake. That's marketing and advertising, and they have a whole A&R department for that. I'm still trying to figure out what the crime was. But okay. Drake's attorney said that he raised the issue with UMG before heading to court, but that the music giant has no interest in taking responsibility for its misconduct. What's the misconduct? I'm sorry. I'm reading this article and I'm like, he says that they hired bots, but I didn't see a whole lot of bots. Now, like I saw a whole lot of bots in this election interference, but in regards to a rap battle between Drake and Kendrick, I just saw a whole lot of people who liked the song. But okay. He claims that UMG actively tried to conceal its wrongdoing by firing staffers perceived as having loyalty to Drake. Well, probably because you were trying to sue them back then. It was, in your feelings about losing this rap battle. Drake has repeatedly sought to engage UMG in discussions to resolve the ongoing harm he has suffered as a result of UMG's actions, the petition reads. UMG refuses to engage in negotiations and insists that UMG is not responsible for its own actions. Instead, Drake says UMG has pointed the finger at Kendrick, and insisted that Drake should sue his rival rather than the label. He also claims that UMG told him that the label would sue Kendrick if Drake ended up filing his own lawsuit. You guys, I got to keep you updated because, like I said, I have never, ever in my life heard of people suing a record label over maybe their masters, but not over losing a rap battle. Drake is softer than a cotton ball on. Okay. Well, like I said, I'll keep you updated. Let me know your thoughts about him suing Universal Music Group and Spotify as a result of losing this battle. I feel like he just proved Kendrick's point. But anyway, I want to hear from you guys. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Bye.